yesterday, Flyers and the Ottawa Senators. All right, that's all the time we have. No. So, yes, we have the Travis Yost tweet. The Senators and Flyers have the framework of a trade in place, though this one may go closer to the draft. I love this because it's not even a rumor. It's a rumor of a rumor.
It's a rumor of a rumor.
This is a double rumor. It's telling us absolutely nothing. But as we said a little bit ago, there is so much smoke with Ottawa.
Yeah.
The framework of a trade may go closer to the draft. It tells us nothing, but there's something going on, Charlie. This is very exciting because, listen, I will be shocked if Brady Tkachuk is. There's just no way they're trading. They're not yet 25-year-old captain and best player.
Would be blown away.
That would be very fucking surprising.
Yes.
However, there are some very intriguing pieces, whether it's one of the defensemen, whether it's Shane Pinto, who the Flyers have been rumored to be interested in for a while. Like Jacob Chikrin came up at the trade deadline. We've heard his name for years because of the local connection. Like, there's something there. You've heard, even though DJ Smith is gone, they still like Scott Lawton.
Yes.
Can you give us a morsel? Can you give us anything? Is there something else beyond something's happening, maybe?
What I can say is that, like, number one, I was told yesterday that, and at least at the moment, like, Lawton is not part of. He's not imminent. He's not in a position where he's imminently going to be traded. Doesn't mean he's not going to be traded. Just that, this isn't like, oh, Scott's preparing to pack his bags. Like, he's not imminently going to be traded. That's what I was told. I've talked to people around the league that are pretty sure this is probably something to do with trading up. Travis Yost then today hinted at just as much. Basically, I think he quote tweeted a Siobhan Nolan tweet from the presser, basically saying, like, yeah, the Flyers are looking to trade up. And given the fact that yesterday he was the guy who said there's a framework of a trade in place, you can connect the dots. I've heard that, yeah, it seems like the trade up is what this is about. Does that mean it's a certainty? No. The other thing I heard was that, again, this is contingent on certain guys being available, which is why they're not going to do this deal now. There's probably a couple guys they really, really like, and if they're available at 7, they might do a deal. If they're not, maybe they'll just wait until 12. So I don't think this is a lock to go down. But based on everything I've heard, again, not just over the last day, but over the last 3-4 months, these two teams have been talking.
And the way Travis Yost frames it, like, the framework is in place. That kind of feels like, yeah, man, if the dude's there or a group of players is available at 7, they have already kind of pre-negotiated. This is what it'll take if you want to move up to 7.
Yeah. Like, okay, let's get it done.
Yes.
But
and
it's not going to get done.
Like, that's why it's not being announced yesterday.
Exactly.
It's going to be closer to the draft, perhaps even on draft day. That would make the most sense. You're looking to trade up.
And none of this info really, I guess, aside from, I don't think I had ever straight up said that I had heard that that Ottawa still likes Lawton. I did hear that around the trade deadline. I did not think it was going to happen at the trade deadline because I did not think the Flyers wanted to trade Scott Lawton at the trade deadline. But I heard that Ottawa still liked him. I reported, it was Elliot Friedman who very much confirmed that they talked about Chikrin. So that's like the insider. I actually had never heard Chikrin's name really pop up, but it popped up from so many people who are plugged in that I'm like, okay, there's probably something to that. I can't imagine that Elliot is completely wrong. The Pinto stuff dates back to the start of last season.
Yeah, it goes back to his suspension.
Yeah, and when I was poking around in late May, early June, when I got back from my vacation, I also heard Pinto's name come up again. So I think that there's something there. Now, whether Ottawa actually is willing to trade him, I don't know. What I've heard with Pinto is that contract negotiations with him in Ottawa have been fraught. And if you don't think you can get a guy at a contract that you think is acceptable, sometimes you decide to trade said player. So the Pinto stuff is not new. The Shabbat stuff, I mentioned that at the trade deadline, that everybody's talking about Chikrin. The guy I had heard was Shabbat, which I was a bit confused about because I'm like, trading for a 27-year-old guy with an $8 million cap, it doesn't seem to fit the timeline. That said, Frank Saravalli did put in his article that they want to re-sign Chikrin, they might need to clear up space to do that. If Chabot is more of a cap dump than a guy you have to trade an insane amount of assets for, maybe that does become palatable to the Flyers, who look at it as, well, we have this guy is like a legitimate top pair defenseman who we can pair with Jamie Drysdale for the next couple years and help him to develop properly the NHL level. I heard Chabot's name a few times. I think Anthony Sanfilippo in the past has reported Matthew Joseph was like a potential
times.
guy who like they could take back a bad contract, but the Flyers wanted to get an asset in order to do it. So maybe he's a name that's involved. There just has been so much smoke around the Flyers of Ottawa from so many different people, both in the public sphere and people I talk to as sources, that I have to believe that like these two teams at some point are going to get something done.
It just feels like momentum is going that way.
We all silly like the mayor.